Circle of Love and Light. I'm your host, Dr. Jane Mountrose, and I'm here with my wonderful friends and co-hosts, Gretchen Comer and Loola Mora. I'm very excited. The three of us, have a good time when we're together, and we haven't had this opportunity for a while. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're also going to have a discussion which is energizing, I hope, for everyone. I'm just switching to the comments there. We're going to be talking about thriving in the fullness of summer. Of course, we're assuming that you're in the northern hemisphere for this. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you'll have to interpret being in the fullness of winter, which is more or less the opposite thing. Anyhow, the trees are green, the flowers are growing, the birds are chirping, things are just so alive right now. And it is a time when the sun and nature itself are bringing the most active energy to us, the most active energy of the year. And I think through the cycles of nature, life invites us to cooperate with these rhythms. We have rhythms in our days, we have rhythms in many things in our lives, and of course in the seasons of the year. And these help us to go through different phases ourselves and live life to the fullness. So right now it's summer. So we'll discuss the blessings that are here for us, and we're going to do an oracle reading to receive some insights on our current potential. We'll also do a meditation, a special meditation, and I have no idea what it's going to be because we'll find out from the oracle probably in our discussion. So I love the mystery of it. But I think that everyone would agree that they generally turn out really powerful and realize the circle's mission, which is love and light, to bring everyone more love and light. It's a great way to start the day, or to bring it in Sunday, again, through the rhythms of the week, starting the week out to send all of that love and light out to your week ahead and start out on the right track or right footing, as I say. Anyhow, I'm very excited. I also want to thank you for joining us, whether you're here with us live or whenever you're with us. We are all together. We are one in this as emissaries of light and love for the world. And it is such a beautiful thing that we can grow together, we can heal together, and we can stand up as beacons of light for the world together. So I want to remind anyone who's here with us to please say hi, and feel free to comment, ask questions, whatever inspires you. Before we start, the last thing I want to do in opening is to just going to resettle myself, to settle in just with a few nice breaths. And it occurred to me recently that we have the right to request the most beautiful, wonderful, whatever magnificent energy possible. So with these are special breaths, breathing in the most wonderful light for you, light and love from the universe, energizing light. And as you exhale, just releasing any tension or any distractions from your field. Taking a few of those beautiful breaths from the divine, all the beings of light who are around us. And just feeling ourselves becoming more present in our bodies. I feel so good. I'm always amazed what just a few simple breaths are going to do. And I do feel, personally, I feel more anchored in the moment and delighted to be here with all of you. So with that, I'd like to turn to you, Gretchen, and ask you to share. I know that you're very connected with nature, to share a bit with all of us on your perspective on this, on thriving in the light of summer.
Sure. Thank you, Jane. For me, I think thriving in the summer is really just bringing my awareness to the natural rhythms that are happening. So, along with the season, it's a season of growth, whereas winter is the opposite. It's a season of going within and incubating the seeds that we're planting. So summertime for me, there's so much that I want to do. That energy of growth is all around us. There is just so much I want to do. So actually for me, it's a time of pacing. It's a time of bringing more balance
Yeah.
and pacing myself, because I could get caught up in going 15 different directions all the time, and that just makes for more stress in my life. So generally I try to follow the seasons in general. I try to follow the natural rhythms of the seasons, but it's also the universal rhythm. We also have planets that are doing things out there in the out in the universe. We have our moon that has phases. All of those actually can help us align with the natural energies of the universe and of nature. And so it makes it simpler when we can just align with those, attune with those rhythms, instead of being a forcing current against it. And for me, this is a time of, for some reason, purging, and I was interested in looking up where the term spring cleaning comes from. And it actually is an ancient term. It comes from Judeo-Christian times around the time of Passover. But nowadays, it's been coined as a term for deep cleaning any time of the year. So when we're spring, like right now, I'm spring cleaning in summer. So,
Right.
and so it's a time for me of purging. And because of that, that's helping me bring more balance to what I want to get done. But I have the energy right now to do it, because that's part of the natural energy of summer. Is it's a joyful, active kind of energy. It's not a passive energy. It makes you want to get up and do things. And so for me, that's what I'm really doing right now. And I'm creating a lot. There's a lot of creation energy. And the more that I'm purging on a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual level, the more room I'm making for that flow to come in. It's like a river, I'm removing
Right.
all the rocks that I've used to dam up whatever, part of my life. And now I have more fluidity. I have more freedom to be creative. I have more, I'm making more time and opportunity to do that in my life. So for me, thriving is really about pacing myself. Because summertime, you can get heat exhaustion. It's very hot where I live in Virginia. You do a lot of outdoor activities. You have to really pace yourself. My husband works outdoors year round, and he has to really be careful with that. And so summer also has that heat, that fire energy that
Right.
we need to balance a little bit. So to me, it's about pacing and purging.
Yeah.
Those are
And
the
that
two
makes
things that
so
really
much
help me
sense. Yeah.
survive it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting, because before we started, I was telling Gretchen and Loola that I had all these things I was doing before. And it's like, I knew I wanted to settle in, and yet I was just all over the place. And it was out of excitement, like, oh, there's this, and then there's that.
Right.
Jane, you have to settle down. Speaking of which,
Exactly.
I wanted to welcome Sharon. Sharon Williamson is here,
Sharon.
and Babs is here. So thank you both
Babs.
for joining us. This is wonderful. Yeah, and Babs mentioned summer has had me off on many trips, and of course that's part of it too, is that desire just to go out and, as you were saying, be all over the place.
Right.
Yeah, so very exciting. Loola, did you want to share?
Sure. I resonate with everything you both have already said, but it's very amazing today when we were landing here and connecting. My inner child show up immediately. Yes, summertime. And yeah, it's an active moment. Actually, she came and say, like, yeah, there's the power, there's that heat, that's that time for vacations, like many people are like going out, as Bab said, and she has all that excitement and wants to do a lot of things. So I'm very connected with the season. And actually, with her that she's being so active and excited, and but then it's the adults, and we sometimes we are doing so much, and the inner child is fighting because she feels tired but wants to keep playing, you know. So it's a
Right.
tantrum there. So in a way, that's what I'm actually experiencing a little bit, is that I want to do a lot of things, but actually, as I was sharing before with you, is like I'm setting so many things that actually was something that I was consciously being careful, because I'm so excited to do so many things that then I see myself with so many things on my plate, and I'm getting overwhelmed, and then I
Right.
get in imbalance instead of feeling good.
Yeah.
So
Right.
then I have that little girl again, like, okay, but let's plan what we're gonna do. That you
Right.
have to worry, but we're gonna go out, yes. So
Right.
then the heat. So thinking about the times to go out, for example, for a walk with my dog, or to play with the ball with her, that she loves it. But then it's like, wait, midday is too much heat. It's not a good day, a good moment to
Right.
go out. So all those kind of understandings, and listening to me, and understanding that it's normal to feel this way and feel all this excitement, you know, because it's part of the rhythm where I'm located, actually,
Yeah.
you know. And it's beautiful, because in my case, in my personal case, because I come from a country that we don't have seasons. So for me, experiencing the seasons have gave me a lot of wisdom, I think, and connection to, because I'm being more able to see the difference, and to allow myself to really tune in with the vibration of each of the seasons, and
Hmm.
explore myself, and actually allow myself to bring something new every year. So that's
Right.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Every year is different. Every summer is different. Yeah,
Yeah.
has
And that's a really wonderful, I think,
exactly.
just to know that I love sometimes just looking back, well, last year at this time, what was happening, and just compare, well, gee, so much was happening then, and it has taken me so much further, and here we are now. It is a completely different place, which is, it's so, I love that about um reviewing kind of the progress of things,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
we're kind of so much in this little bubble, well, yesterday and next week, just this small range maybe. But if we look at all the growth and the things that have occurred in a whole year, that's pretty amazing. I do want to say hi to Nikki too. Hi, Nikki. Nice
Hi,
seeing
Nikki.
you.
Nikki.
You know,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that's a good point, because I think, for me, like I said, purging is a big part of really just feeling very
Right.
good in the summer about getting everything kind of cleaned out and balanced. But that's also a walk down memory lane. So there is a lot of reflection that's done in purging, because you have to sort through things, and you're like, oh, I haven't seen this in a year. And, oh, what's this? And you open a box you haven't maybe opened in a couple of years, or you're going through paperwork. And to me, it really is about reflecting too. There's a lot of time spent on reflecting where I've been, or where I was at that time. There might be something I'm sorting through that's dated, and I can see, oh, this is where I was at that time last year or 2 years ago. So I think that's a good point. It's important to take time to do that reflection, to kind of see not only where we've been, but what progress we've made. We may feel like we're getting nowhere in life, but we've actually made progress. We're different than who we were a year ago, or a
Right.
month ago, or even a
Right.
week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good time to evaluate those things that, like you were saying, that we can kind of sort through and decide consciously what is right for us. I love two phrases I love to explore are, this is just the way I am, and this is the way life is. Kind of like we have these assumptions that put us in a bubble or a box, you might say, kind of imprison us, because we have perceptions of being something that probably we've dragged with us all the way from childhood, from what our family and friends and teachers and all those people told us about ourselves. And if we can sort those out and say, this is who I am, and I'm willing now to release this old idea of who I am and thrive in this season when I can bring out more the blessings that lie within me. I love that. Maybe we'll do a violet flame meditation today. I think it's so important to, going with Gretchen, let go of the old. And
because actually the only way to get new stuff is making space for it.
Right. Exactly. And if you want more light, you have to take out some of the congestion that is actually slowing everything down energetically for you.
Right. That's the rocks in the river that you're using to dam up the flow. You know, gotta take those rocks out one at a time. You know, or sometimes you can clear out a whole bunch of rocks. But yeah.
I think this might be a good time for the reading to get us started, at least with it. We'll see where this goes. And we're going to use something we haven't used in the circle before. In fact, I haven't used it much, but when I did use it recently, I loved it. It's called Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And it's by Colette Baron Reed. It's not new because I've had this for years. A little shuffling. And what we want is to have more insights on this opportunity to thrive and to sort out those things that are not appropriate for us, maybe that were last year or even in the spring, but are not now. And it is interesting when you look at farming and growing. As you're growing your plants, you have to cultivate out the weeds. So here we go. This is interesting. The card is, and what this card has is beings who are around us who can support us. And this one is called Wise Woman of Wonderland, Integrity and Compromise. The card it's a little hazy. It's hard to see the actual image, I think, of her. I'll read a little bit about it, but I love that Wise Woman of Wonderland. I can relate to that in the summer, be in Wonderland. So this is number 21.
Now I know why my little Loola was so excited. You see,
the Wise Woman of Wonderland.
Of course, Wonderland. It's already jumping here.
The Wise Woman of Wonderland brings integrity to thought, word, and deed. She lets you know that as long as you're in the flow of honesty and being true to your word, she keeps you under her protection and care. When she appears as your ally, she signals a time when honesty pays off, yielding greater dividends than expected. And that makes me think of being honest about those things that we really believe are true, that we can let go of. Like when you say, this is the way I am, or this is the way life is. Generally, what we're not being honest with, fully honest with ourselves about those things. You'll be thankful that you remained faithful and loyal to your path. She reminds you that compromise is always an option. Stay true to yourself and first and foremost, although it may appear that you could lose something as a result, you can never lose what is truly yours. I love that.
That's beautiful.
So any thoughts on that? Or
well, I think the last thing that you said was interesting, because I think that's why a lot of us have some fear around letting go. You know, we might feel we're letting go too much, or that we're letting go something important, or for some reason there's something inside us that wants to hold on to what is familiar and
safe.
Right.
Yeah, because whatever we hold on to, we do it partly because we think we're safe there.
Right.
Anyhow, sorry for interrupting.
No, that's pretty much what I was going to say there. I think that's interesting, because I think you know, I think that's a common fear, that the reason we don't do a lot of shadow work or work to let go of those things that no longer serve us is because there's some fear there. You know, it may irrevocably change who we are, or it may make us less than, or somehow take away part of our natural essence, you know, that is our life force. And it's really not true. We're actually just, it's an illusion that we are buying into, you know, that we could give away too much of ourselves. So anyway, that's a beautiful card. It's profound.
Yeah. And, or what would people say?
Right,
You know,
right.
if I say, well, I'm going to relinquish this and allow myself to become more true to myself.
Right.
Most people, that whole idea of being true to yourself, it's like, oh, come on, and be realistic.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Great point. Yeah, I think one of the sometimes takes us time to figure it out where we are like trapped. Also, you know, that part of first, like getting like aware of what is really there that we need to let go or to release, and then accepting it, you know, because sometimes in that transition from that like understanding to accepting it, and that's key to let go. Because in my case, sometimes I'm experiencing something very particular that has been challenging for me, because I know what I need to do, but I haven't found what is exactly that thing that I need to let go to move forward in a specific situation. So I have been like observing my process, and I think that's important, because sometimes we are not clear exactly what is that thing that we need to let go, maybe because we are so used to it, or it's part of our childhood, or is something that is so bold and so robust that we think that
Or
must be
programming.
that. Yeah, our programming is so inside us that is challenging to really understand and get what is that thing that is not serving us anymore.
Right.
So I think it's important for me to share my experience, because is, as we already said many times in other circles, our evolution is not linear, is in this way. So we get
Spiral,
again
right.
spiral, you know. So I mean, that spiral, and I have my tools and I do it, but I'm being honest here, and has been challenging, specifically for me in a very important thing in my life right now. So
right.
yes, it's like, okay, everyone has different experiences. Sometimes it's difficult to let go something that we already know, but sometimes it's like we are in that like observation and that learning process, you know, to understand what is that thing that we need to let go. So for me, it's bringing a lot of heat, the season,
Right. And it is
to
that
help
time.
me,
Yeah. The fire element.
help me
Yeah.
get like closer. I don't know, because I don't want to have too much expectations, because then I'm gonna limit myself again. You know, because I
Right.
have been learning a lot that when I think that I am there, a lesson come and said, maybe it's not only that, or maybe it's not for that is the way. So yeah, the process of letting go has its own charm, I can tell.
Right. And I think another part of it that I like to try to set aside is that we think that if there's something that we have to let go of, it's like we've failed. But it isn't that. It is, these are the illusions of limitation that are all around us. We're brought up with all of this stuff. So it's not that there's something wrong with us, that we failed in any way. It is when we see, well, gee, you know, I've been living with this illusion that I can't do this or that, or that whatever, that I have to do. Another one is I have to do these things just because people expect them of me. That's just, it is just that. It's just an illusion of limitation. It's not, it has nothing to do. In fact, it has everything to do with who we are in the opposite sense, in that we're blocking the light within ourselves, because all of the, like the fear, you know, the mass consciousness thought forms, all of that stuff is congesting our space, and energetically it's slowing us down in very real ways, sometimes, well, even physically on all levels. So it's an opportunity to be free. And I think Gretchen and I were talking about this the other day. And what I've noticed from people in our classes, especially talking about money, because money is such a representation of well, the freedom, really. It's a representation of security too. There are other things there, but when people are asked, well, why do you want more money? Generally, it's because we want freedom. It's just, and that's part of who we are. And the freedom that I think of summer and fire, and the fire element, which is energy. You know, it's the energy of creation that's flowing to us. Freedom is really up there. How can we free ourselves more?
Right.
Actually, listening to you, a lot of images came to me, like dancing around fire, you know, that normally we are outdoors, we are gathered, you know, it's a very ancient ritual, you know, dance, because yeah, we can feel like how connected and inspired we can be to fire, and let go too, because we are burning all things, you know. It's a very important element. And as you said, creation, we are creating and finding ways, and yeah, money gives us freedom, but I think this season invites us to feel free with simple and easy things too.
Right. You have to start out where you are. You can't all of a sudden think, I'm here, I'm going to go way over there. It's like, what is my next step? What can I do to free myself more? What can I let go of that I thought I had to hold on to for some reason, whatever the reason is.
That could be something like, I'm being too complicated. I'm gonna take some shorts, wear my shoes, and go for a walk. Looking for the place where there is some shade, for example, as a game, you know? Or can I move and see the shadows in the streets? I don't know, but it's like our mind, and sometimes we are so trapped, as we were talking, that we feel that we are not free because we haven't free ourselves of our way of thinking.
Right. And I think I think the meditation is coming together.
Will help us for this.
We can free our thinking. And it is true. In fact, I think I mentioned to Gretchen the other day when we were talking, we've done meditations quite a few times in the circle, and I think in other places, where we rise up above the mass consciousness thought forms, through the atmosphere out into space where you're just completely free. And I think that's great. I love doing that. That feels really great. But I was thinking, ultimately, we have to free ourselves of the mass consciousness thought forms right where we are. We can't be out in space all the time.
Right.
It's not practical.
Right.
It's great, but it's not practical. In fact, I just, speaking of out in space, I have this picture of Archangel Orion, who is a cosmic kind of out in space type of a being. I just was looking at his picture there. It just makes me think of that. Kind of interesting. Just distracting myself again. I have cards all over right now. I think it probably is this whole summer thing. I'm just excited about everything. So you can slow down. We'll do the meditation. Okay, and I think all of us are connected with Saint Germain and the violet flame. Probably everyone watching too. So we're going to do that. And we'll start as usual, if you're in a place where you are safe, closing your eyes. And again, just inviting the most beautiful energy from the universe as you inhale. Love and light, joy, magic, mystery, whatever draws you. And again, releasing with the exhale. Just breathing in that beautiful love and light all through your body, all around you, into all the layers of your energy field. You can send it to places if you feel any tension or stress, any places that need love, particularly in your body. And asking any energy that is not your own. This is another thing that congests our space. we hold on to energy from people, from other times and places, and just ask all of that energy to go back where it came from so that you can create more space energetically for your own energy. And similarly, we leave bits of ourselves in other times and places with other people. So bring back your own energy. It's just a matter of intending. And feel that coming back in. And with that, I just have this image already there of the goddess of light, Amaryssus, who is the feminine master associated with the first ray. So we can invite that light. She just brings pure light, cosmic light. So we can fill in all those spaces with that light now. Spaces we've cleared out so far, and we'll be going further. I just find her energy feels so beautiful and free. It's free. It's light that's free of any kind of darkness or shadows or stuckness. Pure light. And I also then want to invite Saint Germain to join us. And we can ask him to bless us if you want with the energy of the violet flame, which you can again experience the most beautiful violet light that's perfect for you. Might be a deep violet, it might be, I tend to see colors, all the different, like an amethyst, the deep violet and the pale lilacs, and then the bright white, and sparkles, of course. Sparkles are energy. So if you bring in sparkles, you'll bring more energy in with the violet flame. And again, allow that to permeate all of the layers of your energy field with the intention of clearing out any of these mass consciousness thought forms that may be clogging things up a little bit, congesting things, slowing things down for you. In your brain, in your mind, clearing out those thought forms in your mind. The violet flame is magical. It transmutes stuck energy into love and light and joy, actually, which is wonderful. And of course, anywhere where energy is stuck in your body, can send it there. And just asking Saint Germain and the goddess of light to support us in releasing those things that we no longer need now. so that we can thrive in this fullness of the fire season of summer. The goddess of light, and the first ray is fire, with Ascended Master El Moria and Archangel Michael. So you can invite one of them in too if you desire. I feel Archangel Michael is with us. He's also here for us, for those of us who are supporting the planet now in this time of awakening. And he's grateful, as is Saint Germain, just for our presence and our willingness to move forward. And as you sense that energy releasing, of course, you can bring in more light from Amaryssus. Fill in all of those spaces with light. And you may notice, as I was surprised when I first started doing this regularly, that I do end up in a very joyful place. when the fog clears, you might say, that there's great joy and love. So I'm curious, Gretchen or Loola, if you have any perceptions you'd like to share from this perspective.
What I'm actually sensing is I'm standing inside of a giant amethyst geode.
When
you were talking about all the different hues and shades of purple and white, that's kind of what I was seeing. And inside this giant geode, it's large enough for me to stand in. There is this ring of light of violet flames, actually, that kind of started at my head and then just descended down over my body, and I could feel it just scanning all the places where I'm holding things, and I could feel my physical body relax more as this scan, for lack of a better word, was happening. And then when we are inviting in Amaryssus's light, it felt like it too was almost scanning like a laser, just filling all those places, coming in behind these violet flames and filling all these places with light. It was just a really detailed image, and
Wow.
I felt the presence of the archangels and of Saint Germain standing in a circle. I'm up on this kind of dais where this giant geode is, and I could feel them just sending their energy into all of this as well. It was really beautiful, and I feel very calm, very peaceful right now. It just feels like, oh, okay. So it was really beautiful experience.
Wonderful. How
Well,
about you, Loola?
In my case, is still being a very authentic experience. I felt I'm still there with all the support of Saint Germain, Archangel Michael, Amethyst, but actually Archangel Raphael show up too, because they and I needed his support too. I went through how I'm calling it, like quantic surgery. Has been amazing. All the purple light came from my head and started going down with sparkles, and then everything focused on my colon, and that light was there, and was like all of them get reunited to give me a surgery of light there. That's the reason Archangel Raphael show up with like healing green light. And actually, I'm still seeing a part of my colon that's still releasing energy, and then I start feeling lighter, but looks like they're still in the we're still there in the surgery room.
Mhm.
But it's in
Right.
the highest realms, and I only see a part of my organ with a lot of purple light and sparkles going out, like, so feels that I'm being supported to let go and clear something that I'm not getting what is.
Mhm.
They're letting me know that there's not important to know, only
No, you
to
don't
feel.
always have to know.
Exactly, that's what they're saying, and they're all united around my organ. I don't see myself, I see my colon,
Mhm.
and feels very intense. A lot of emotions came to me, but now I am most experiencing some kind of need of crying, but like there are joy tears,
Mhm. Good. Wonderful.
Yeah, I don't see myself in my body, but I know that I'm hugging them. We're hugging ourselves right now,
Mhm.
and like saying, good job, we did it.
Right.
And wow, I'm feeling very emotional.
Well, that's wonderful. You can just allow yourself to rest in that light.
Yes.
And I feel from here, this has been a wonderful experience, I think, for me. And this is something Saint Germain recommends, doing something like this with the violet flame every day. You might be able to find some place where you're still holding grudges or fears or discouragement or doubt. Just bring something in 5 minutes even. He says that he would be very grateful for as many people as possible to do this sometime during the day. And there is part of the ray that he's on, the seventh ray, is about rhythm. To if you can find a time every day when you might do it, like in the morning. I do my meditations in the morning, or even as you go to bed at night, just bringing in a little of that energy should be very relaxing for sleep, actually, to release. You can invite Amaryllis in. I have found her to be just so remarkable, so light. And she is fire. She's light. Light is fire, but in the most beautiful feminine way. I love the way that it feels. So these beings, I think all of them, also Archangel Michael and I think Raphael too, they all invite us to call on them to support us because they are here. And so I send deep gratitude. You can send your gratitude to them too. And now we can just focus again on being in our seats, grounded, feet on the floor. It feels like they're saying we're not leaving, but we can come back to our normal waking states. So breathing in more active energy, returning to your waking state. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And here's Buddy. Buddy just came back from a nice ride, huh, sweetie pie? Yeah. Oh, that really did feel good.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
And it's so interesting. I love it that when we started, I had no idea where we were going to go with it, but it feels perfect. It is perfect. And I see more comments. Sharon
If
said,
I
that's my happy place too. I don't know what, I'm afraid I didn't catch that probably soon enough to know what she was referring to. Archangel Michael and Raphael are part of my daily posse. That's Sharon, along with my guardian angel.
Lovely.
And they do invite us. They want us to connect with them. They want to support us. And I don't know why more people, I hadn't heard of Amaryllis. I can't even remember exactly now how she came to my attention. Something happened. Maybe I just don't remember. It was recently. And I just think, wow, everybody should know about Amaryllis. Did you like her, you guys?
Absolutely. Yeah, such beautiful
Powerful
energy. Yeah, powerful and very direct
Yeah,
and
very
thorough.
powerful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I never imagined that I was going to have such a deep process today. I
Well,
didn't
you don't.
cipher
You
it.
never know. But I'm happy for you.
Me too. Me too.
Something must have
And
happened.
I'm happy that I was there with your support and the support of people that are watching, and there will be a reason that happened today the way that it happened, and being vulnerable, you know, in a circle
And supported.
and supported, exactly. And I think that gave more charm, you know, and shows how profound these meditations can be, and how not only helps us to boost our spirits, you know, and to, but also to clear. And that's one of the, in my opinion, helps that the violet flame gives us, you know. We can clear a lot.
For sure.
And was beautiful to see Archangel Raphael showing up and being part of the team, you know. Was beautiful, but was a very, I'm still integrating, I think.
Yeah. Well, if it, with a deep process like that, you would be.
Right.
So that's good. Gretchen, did you have any more comments on it, on the process or anything? I don't know if she's frozen. Are you frozen? She's not moving.
But I love that she's smiling.
I think she'll probably be back. So I guess this is the time when we have collectively gathered all of this love and light to focus on the difference we can make in the world. This is Foxy, a little smoocher. She kiss all the time. I've got my globe. Sending love and light to the world.
Yes, let's do it.
And for all of you out there, you can send it to anyone who may need it, who you know. You can send it to your neighborhood, your community, to places in the world that are so much in need of love now and support from us. You matter. All of us matter. And collectively, also, we're more powerful than we are alone. Right, Bud? Buddy says, I love this. I like the circle.
Yes. He's part of the team.
Yeah.
Completely.
Right. So Gretchen disappeared completely now. I think her internet just isn't very stable.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would have said goodbye if she could.
Of course.
She may be back too. Let me see. No, I was just looking. There was a little note on the side there. I wasn't seeing to see if she was coming back. Loola, would you like to tell people? Oh, here comes Gretchen. Would you like to tell people how they can find out more about you and what you're up to?
Sure. People can connect and find about me in my social media. Facebook is Loola Mora with 2 O's, Loola. And on Instagram, the same. And yeah, I'm right now focused on helping women break through any imbalance and get their inner power back. And
wonderful.
Actually, I'm very excited because I launched my group coaching program too, so I can impact more lives in the same like moment, and
Mhm.
has been an amazing experience because actually is in tune with my mission. That is the same that we have spoken with you both. That is like helping to create a more loving and peaceful world. You know, so I think as women we have a very important role in our society and families because we, with our feminine energy and our power, we do a lot. We are part of that change. So I'm very happy because I'm
Good.
in a way making the whole thing that my
Right.
heart wants and speaks to me.
Wonderful. And Babs is supporting you. She said, thank you for your vulnerability, Lula, and sending you much love and light.
Oh, thank you, Babs. I receive it.
Gretchen, we missed you there for a couple minutes. Would you
Yeah,
like to share
I'm
how people
I'm
can find
magic.
out?
I just blip in and out. Yes.
Right. Before you
but I've
disappear
got-
again, how can people
Right.
find out more about you?
Thank you. Sure. People can connect with me on my website that has the most comprehensive list of my services at spiraljourney.net. And right now I have 3 different coaching programs that I'm working with. I'm working helping people with ancestral healing. I'm helping people activate their spiritual gifts, as well as something called Grounded in the Heart, which is a focus on the chakras, the root and the heart chakra specifically. And so, yeah, I would love for you to stop by. I have free consultations right now for 30 minutes just to see which program might work best for people. And yeah, I'm excited. You can also connect with me here on Facebook at Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services or just Gretchen Comer. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Sure.
And here at Awakenings Institute, we're preparing next week to start another course, short course for August, a 4-week course, which is going to be on awakening your intuition and your magnificence with oracles. We're going to be using some completely new oracles and ways of using oracles that we're finding to be very wonderful. And I do, I think all of us here, all 3 of us agree that using oracles, it's like it adds another layer of meaning to everything. And then you can, the way you use them, you can even step it up even more, which is what we're going to be doing in that course. So you can find it at tinyurl.com/read-oracles, which takes you to our website. The URLs are long, so we don't usually send people to the specific one, but it is, the website is gettingthrough.org / there are several parts to it, but this part that would have the oracles is gettingthrough.org / miracles. Not, I'm sorry, / spiritual. I must have miracles on my mind or something. And it's gettingthru.org / spiritual, or tinyurl.com / read-oracles. There's a lot of other stuff there and free things. For the circle, you can support the circle by following our page on Facebook, which is very helpful. Sharing the video with your friends, that's also helpful, because the more people we have who are vibrating love and light out to the world, the less resistance there is can possibly be there to it. It's like we're accumulating light that's going to narrow down the amount of darkness in the world. Share it with your friends, and also invite your friends to join you in the circle. We have a good time. I think we have a good time every time.
I agree.
And I think one of the things that is so interesting to me is how we just never know what's going to happen. And I think this has been such a great time together and so perfect. I'm just blown away by it. Anyhow, the last thing is send love and light forward to the week ahead. Just send it through time and space to your week ahead, planning to have a wonderful, joyful, magical, miraculous week. And that's what we certainly wish for you. Bab says, always a wonderful time. I think she's saying in the circle. And thank you. Yes, I feel that way too. So I guess with that, all we can do is say farewell for now. Please join us again. We love having you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.